Hey guys, so this is my trailer breakdown for the new Scarlet and Violet trailer 3. Now, they have actually already done a trailer breakdown of their own for it, like Game Freak, but I'm going to do one of my own as well and just sort of recap what they said. So obviously the first thing we see here is Growlithe and Arcanine. Interestingly, it's not the Hisuian forms. Now usually when you have a regional form of a Pokemon, you can get all the forms of that Pokemon in the game, at least in Sword and Shield you could. So it will be interesting to see if you can bring Hisuian, Growlithe and Arcanine over via home later on, like once it gets the functionality for that, or if they're just not going to be in the game at all. So there's Arcanine and Growlithe. We get Dealing and Sawsbuck. Now later on we see the spring versions of them. So my theory is that based on where you go around the world, in the world of the game, you see different versions. So if you go to the top of the mountains where all the snow is, you might see the winter version, of Sawsbuck and Dealing. Whereas here you get the autumn one. You know, if you're in sort of more of a foresty area, you might see the spring one. So we'll have to see how it works. It might be seasons, but I doubt it. I feel like it is going to be based on where you are in the map, just because it's easier for them to do. Houndoom and Houndour. And now here we see a tower that they mentioned is going to be part of one of the 3 stories, but we'll get into that more a bit later when it comes around in the trailer. Now this is a new form of Wooper. So as I said, this is a new Wooper form, the Paldean Wooper. We've got it here. It is a poison ground type. They said it covers itself in a poisonous film. They live on the land and cover their bodies with a poisonous film. In ancient times, Wooper lived underwater in the Paldea region, but it seems after losing its struggle for territory, they began living in bogs on land. To keep from drying out while living on land, they began to cover their bodies in a poisonous film. These Wooper's gills have hardened thanks to living on land for so long. Their bodies are heavy and they move slow, but they can protect themselves by shooting powerful poisonous liquids. So instead of a water poison type, this is now a ground poison type, and it gets the poison point and water absorb abilities, which is water absorb on a ground Pokemon is actually quite good, especially when it's not a water type. Quite like that. So we'll just go back to the trailer here. Okay, so we're back onto the trailer. We see some Snowrunts, Gyarados and Magikarp, Honchkrow, Murkrow. And then we get this nice view here of the town with some birds flying. I don't know if you spotted that, but there were some birds flying around up here. Look up here, but we can't see what they are. They've purposely made it hard to see what that Pokemon is, which is very annoying. Here we've got Hariyama, and then this is just... Now this is interesting. He's got Premier Balls on him, and then... you get the legendary Pokemon from the beginning of the game, not to battle with, just to sort of ride on them, to bike and to fly on them and things like that. Now, one interesting thing here is that you'll see both Pokemon have this wheel, and then for some reason he just runs with his hands instead of using the wheel, whereas this one uses the wheel. But if we just go back quickly to this scene, you'll see Drafaric. Now, one thing that was hinted or leaked was that there was a Drafaric regional form / evolution. Now, this doesn't look like a regional form to me. So, there may be an evolution, but if there is, that's not been shown yet. So, as things stand, the Drafaric leak seems to be wrong. Was there anything on that one? Or was I seeing things? Oh, no, yeah, it was just people there.
Get to know the region.
So, the region's called Paldea. Obviously, been over that with the Wooper. So, here's what I was on about with the Dealing and Sawsbuck. So, this is the spring version of them, and it's in a more of a foresty area. So, that's why I think it's going to be, like I say, based on where you are on the map, instead of seasons. Marie Panamparos, and then in the background there, look, was another one of them towers they said is part of one of the 3 stories of the game. And there you can see them sort of scattered around the map here. Look, one right in front of us, one sort of in the background there on the left as well. And then there's no more around here. And then you transform it and you can fly around it.
The abundant nature.
And now Go-Go and Skiddo, that's good. They're back because they haven't been seen since X and Y, I believe, like in an actual Pokédex. And then we've got these Pokestop kind of things. We've got 2 of them here on the screen. They haven't said what these Pokestop, like Pokeball things are, so we'll just have to wait and see for them. More Dreadnought back in the game. Cufant. So this here is looking like the Pokemart, the Pokeshop, and the Pokemart, the Pokecenter, and the Wi-Fi area. Then this yellow circle here is where you go to activate your 4-player co-op stuff, or 2, 3-player, whatever you want to do, to bring people into your world or to go to somebody else's. Now, on the advertising here, we see Ice-Q. And Ice-Q is confirmed to be in the game. They show it later off in this trailer, actually. And so we can probably, from that, take that any Pokemon we see on billboards to be in the game if they've not already been shown.
The rich culture
here of all these buildings and the school side up there in the corner. So there was also a rumour that this Sunflora, because you could see it in the second trailer from above, was a regional form of Sunflora or some kind of evolution. Looking at it now, it just looks like a Sunflora chilling in a pot or some kind of statue or a model of one. So I don't think it's anything different. I think it's just a model of the Sunflora or just a normal one in a plant pot. Here we can see a Greedent on the street here in the middle below this red flag. And it does look like the shops are back where you go, you know, the cafe, the hairdressers, what else was there, the clothes shops. It looks like they are all back in the game from Sword and Shield. Two fletchlings there. Now this was also another new Pokemon that I will show you called Fidough, so let me just go to these. So here is Fidough, the next new Pokemon we have been introduced to. It is a fairy type, and they said it was soft to touch. It's a puppy Pokemon. This Pokemon has moist, smooth feeling to it. Fidough's moist, smooth skin has elastic qualities and is both firm and soft at the same time. When these Pokemon become excited, they intimidate their opponent by puffing up their bodies to appear bigger. Its breath contains useful yeast. Fidough ferments things in its vicinity using the yeast in its breath. Said yeast is useful for cooking, so this Pokemon has been protected by people since long ago. And also, it looks very cute. So let's go back to the trailer. Okay, so we're back onto the trailer now. Vigoroth, Slacking, Cacnea, Cacturne, Donphan, so there's Phanpy's in it as well, which I'm happy about. I like Donphan and Phanpy. No surprises with Dragon, the Dratini line being in it. There was a Fletchling and a Pinecone there, and now it looks like night time, and Mischievous and Mismagius have come out. So maybe there's a day-night cycle in this game that spawns different Pokemon in, which is good. Beartic Cubchoo. Here are the Pikachus, and it looks like you can see gender differences out in the wild, because you can see from the love heart on this Pikachu's tail. Here we have a Pachirisu and some bloke just eating a sandwich. Again, a hat shop. Looks like you can go into the shops to do customization. We've got that Pachirisu and Drifloons. A Pinsure in here, still chilling in this shop.
Where will you go?
And now this was one of the 3 stories they spoke about. So one story was the traditional gym leader challenge, you know, the Pokemon the Elite Four and all of that. And then they said this was to do with one of the stories, and you'll see this symbol around quite a lot. We've seen these flags a lot in the other trailers, and it does show 2 cars later on that have this symbol plastered all over them, so it looks like they're linked to it as well. But I'll show you that when we get to it. And then, like I said earlier, these towers are also linked to the 3rd story.
Who will you meet?
So that there is Pneumonia, who is one of your friends. If I just get back to her. This is Pneumonia. She's one of your friends from the school that you're enrolled in the game. And, you know, she just comes with you on your adventure. She's your rival, I believe, in this. She's just a friend that likes to battle. They've made it out like she's your rival. And then they showed this other guy off. Oh, before we actually get to the other guy, I want to talk about this guy, if I can pause it on it, with his Eevee backpack. Now, there's nothing wrong with an Eevee backpack. And they've done this with its sort of main hair around its neck that comes around to be the, you know, the hooks to keep it on your arms. Now, that's a weird way to do an Eevee backpack. To me, that kind of may be a hint that something's happening with Eevee. You know, there are a lot of rumours of an evolution. Maybe a flying type one, you know, where a bit Altaria-ish, where this just puffs up and it just looks like a normal Eevee, but this puffs up a bit and comes out. Or maybe it's just a weird Eevee backpack. I don't know. But it is something to maybe think about. Now, this guy's just somebody else that comes with you on your adventure. Again, another friend of yours. You just come in and out, tell it during the story.
What will you achieve?
This is one of the gym leaders. They spoke about her in their breakdown. And this is the 3rd new Pokemon we see called Cetitan. So I'll just go onto the page for that one quickly. So this here is the page for, as you can see, Cetitan. It is an Ice-type Pokemon. And it's a very big boy. Strong muscles and thick blubber. Cetitan need to have tough muscles to be able to support their immense bodies. And physical attacks using their bodies have incredible power. They migrate around snowy regions protected by a layer of fat. The horn on the upper jaw freezes the surroundings. A Cetitan has 5 hard horns. Among them, the horn on the upper jaw is able to gather ice energy, making the surrounding temperature extremely low and freezing the area around the Pokemon. So, there you go. Another new Pokemon. I don't know if this is an evolved Pokemon or if this is just a standalone big thing that we'll see. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? They haven't really said. Now let's go back to the trailer. Back onto the trailer now, and these are the cars that I spoke about earlier. Again, you can see it's got the flags and that symbols on this, so these are going to be linked to the story. Here's the other side of it, and then these are, you know, the starters. We've seen these. Annoyingly, they didn't show us any kind of evolutions for the starters. Still keeping that a secret. Was there anything on those billboards just there that we could see? Any kind of new information on that? No. Okay, no Pokemon on those billboards. It's just the 4-play stuff. Again, look, they just run instead of using the wheel. And now this is the gimmick. that it's about to show you. Actually, before the gimmick, look who's back. There's Dynamo Line. There's Enlikatros. They haven't been in the game for a long time, so it's good to see them back.
Together.
And now the Noibot evolving. Trade, there's the Ice Cube train I was on about earlier. And here is where it shows the gimmick off. And now the gimmick is that a Pokemon will get a boost for its typing of its... So they all have a Terra type, which is a new thing for the gimmick where it gets a boost of that Terra type. But Pokemon can have rare versions of themselves for different Terra typings. So right now, we will see this Persian here with this big jewel on its head. That means it's a normal type, Terra type, so all the Persian's normal moves get boosted, and it's become a normal type Pokemon, which is fine, because it was anyway. But they did say that this could change, so actually in the early purchase bonus, you receive a special Pikachu that knows the move Fly, and has the flying Terra type. So it's got the balloons above its head instead of the electricity one that you'd normally expect to see for a Pikachu. So this Pikachu will become a flying type Pokemon when you Terra evolve it, or whatever it's called. Now the question here is, when it becomes a flying type, does it then lose its electric typing, or does it become electric flying? Now that hasn't been said yet. Interestingly, they did say that one of Drifloons, for example, is a fire type to it. And obviously that is a ghost flying type anyway, so would it then become 3 types, or does it lose them both and just become fire type? This is something they haven't really explained. And then they have also said that these rare typings can be found in raid battles, which is what's going on here. We have a Luminion, we've got a Slowking, a normal Slowking, not a Gala Slowking, and a Clauncher here, fighting a Dragonite that looks like, if you look above, it's got this fire coming out of it like a chandelier. Looks like it is going to be a fire type, well, a fire Terra type Gyarados, which is interesting. So raid battles are back, so that's good, and a lot of people like raid battles. And then this is just the legendaries transforming into a type, not into the main forms of them. And then that's it. And then, like I say, you get this Pikachu for getting the game, well, in the first few months, basically. So I do hope you enjoyed my trailer breakdown. If you did, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.